Hey, what's going on, guys? Back again with another one, talking about health, wealth, success, getting money, being successful, all that good stuff. And in this video, I want to go over my top favorite books for making money. And so the first one I have to start out with, where we at right here? It has to be Think or Grow Rich. So the first thing when it comes to making money, when it comes to being successful, you have to change your mindset. You have to understand how to change your mindset on money, to be able to get it. You need to understand that if you think it, you can get it. Like, that's just how it works with your mind, with making money, with doing anything in life. When you think money, you will get money. Your mind will start to bring it out into the forefront, Your subconscious will go to work for you. If you want money, just think money. Hey, I want to be rich. I want to be successful. Your mind, your subconscious will start to bring those into the forefront, whether it be help wanted signs, opportunities. You just have to understand that you're, using this knowledge and this information and using your mind to go get these things. And your mind will bring it to you. It'll get it to you. Like, again, the book, this is what it goes over. You think rich and you'll get rich. You think it and you grow it. Your mind is a powerful thing, and you can use your mind to go get whatever you want for you. The second book has to be, now a lot of people, I wouldn't say they crap on this book. They just think they just think it's meh. But The Rich Dad, Poor Dad, this book changed my life. You need to understand the difference between rich people and poor people. The entire system tells you to get a job, play it safe, go to school, get your degree, like just get a promotion at your job. That's not what rich people do. That's not what successful people do. Rich people buy assets. Rich people invest. Rich people start businesses. Rich people are entrepreneurs. Rich people employ people. This is what you need to do. You need to accumulate as many assets as possible, and then you fund your lifestyle with the cash flow that you get from the assets, whether that be crypto, stocks, dividend stocks, real estate, businesses. That's how you become rich. That's how you become successful. And if you don't understand that in the first place, you're never going to get there, because nobody's talking about this stuff outside. And this book has been around since the 90s, and still everybody just pushes you, go to school, get a good job, have a secure job, even though there's no secure jobs today anymore. But that's just what gets pushed from everybody, your parents, your coworkers. Let's just say you're working a regular job, being like, man, how do I, get to the next level? They'll tell you, go to school, get a promotion. You're starting out as a regular factory worker. If you want to make middle management, you got to go to school and get your degree. Like, no, that's not how you do it. You need to become an entrepreneur. You need to become an investor. You need to invest your money. You need to buy as many assets as you can, and then eat from the cash flow of the assets. So you'll buy assets, and then they will pay you money, and then you just fund your lifestyle with that money. So again, if you have $1 million, $2 million worth of assets, you don't eat the $2 million. You'll eat the money that the assets produce. If you want a bigger lifestyle, buy more assets that produce more cash flow, and then you can increase your lifestyle with the cash flow. Second, going back to understanding your mindset around money, you need to change your mindset. Understanding the psychology of money. So many people, they just get money, they go spend it on some crap, they'll get a raise at their job, and in order to celebrate, they got to go make more, or they have to spend more money. You need to understand the psychology around money, what to do with it when you get it, how to save it, how to invest it, changing your behavior around money, thinking about money, thinking about what to do with money when you get it, treating it like it's something important, right? We need to be able to save our money, invest our money if we want to get to the next level, not just get it and spend it and be like, oh, well, I'll just get paid again in 2 weeks, so it doesn't matter. Like, no, we need to, again, change your psychology, your mindset around money. That's what most of these books are all about. It's changing your mindset about money. Like, because nobody understands money. Nobody understands investing. We're not told what to do with money when we get it. We just know I go to work, I get paid, and that's it. And it's so much more to that. Becoming rich, becoming successful, it's so much more than that. And last but not least, now this is old money, right? but we have the millionaire next door. Understanding that when it comes to being a millionaire, when it comes to getting rich and becoming wealthy, most of the time you're not really going to be able to see who those people are. You're not going to, they don't display it like you would think. Now, again, this book was wrote in the 90s. It does talk about old money, right? It talks about that small business owner that doesn't upgrade their house, doesn't upgrade their car. They get married, they live a frugal lifestyle. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. Oh, I want to go out and splurge. I want to go on vacations and get $10 coffees. But this is what it's about. You get that house. I remember when I first got this house right here, my realtor was like, oh, this is a great starter home. And I was just like, what do you mean starter home? And, that's just the American way. You get a starter home, then you get a 4-bedroom house, then you get a McMansion on the water. And it's like, no, man, you need to just get a house, pay it off if you can. Well, people go back and forth on that. Personally, I would not pay a house off, but there are a lot of people that say just pay your house off, right? Get rid of that debt. Get a car, have it for a long time, keep the maintenance and the upkeep going. But again, so many people today want to upgrade their car every 2-3 years, or they'll do leases. And it's like, get rid of that car payment. You got to get from under that car payment. That is a permanent payment you got to get rid of. And again, it goes over that. Most of them are married. Most of them are frugal business owners. A majority of these millionaires next door, they own small businesses. Now, again, the small business mom and pop shop is going away. Again, this talks about old money, but still, you need to be an entrepreneur. You need to be making money on your own. You need to uncap your income. You can't be stuck at a job. No matter how hard you work at that job, your paycheck stays the same on the 1st and the 15th. You need to be able to uncap that. And that is by becoming an entrepreneur. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a job, right? But you need to understand, this is just a stepping stone, right? I'm doing this job to increase my skills, to increase my knowledge on whatever subject, whatever that is, whether it be a mechanic, electrician, plumber, whatever. I'm going to acquire these skills, and then I'm going to go do my own thing. I'm going to become an entrepreneur. Maybe I start doing some work on the side. Maybe I start figuring out how to open my own business. I'm working for a business. I'm learning the ins and outs of the business as I'm being a plumber, as I'm being an electrician, and now I want to start my own company. I'm figuring out how to hire people. I'm figuring out how to bid for contracts so I can get work on my own. All of these things will allow you to become rich or allow you to become successful. And it's right here in these books. You got to read. You're not going to make it to the next level if you don't read. Now, of course, there's always that Instagram streamer, that YouTube streamer, whatever, who, makes it big, or they become very popular, like iShowSpeed or something like that. But for the average person, it's still doable. But you got to read. You got to get this information down. You got to understand how to change your mindset around money, what to do with the money, what the average millionaire is. It's a small business owner. It's not an employee. Now, there's nothing wrong with working a job, but we got to advance from that. We got to get to the next level when it comes to making money, when it comes to being rich, when it comes to becoming successful. But yeah, man, those are my 4 top books on making money. Think or Grow Rich, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Millionaire Next Door, and The Psychology of Money. I have so many other books on money that go into specific subjects, understanding the stock market, understanding crypto, understanding real estate, how to buy real estate, how to flip it, how to do options trading, all of that other stuff, right? But the main takeaway from these books that I would say when it comes to making money, it's changing your mindset. You have to change your perspective on money, and understand it's not just get a job. I hate the way the consensus, right? What we learn from outside is just go to school, get a job, get a promotion, go to college, get a bigger degree. Everybody's always, when it comes to making more money, they're like, I just need to go back to school. Like, that is the worst way to make money. But you won't know that unless you read. So yeah, man, hopefully you guys took some information from this. Yeah, and I just want everybody to make it. I want everybody to be successful. I know times are getting hard. It's 2026. A lot of people are losing their jobs. It's just getting harder to survive, but it's still not over. Don't give up. There's still opportunities out there if you can look for them and you know what to look for and where to look for them at. But I hope this helped out for you guys a little bit. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe, and catch you guys in the next one. Peace.